my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is the Friday Challenge, where I ask you to look through your long boxes and try to find some cool books related to a particular theme. This week is an interesting theme. It is actually about the Go-Go checks. Now, if you're not familiar with the Go-Go checks, I'll show you a comic that has the Go-Go checks. And it's this Wonder Woman. See the checkered pattern at the top? Well, back in the 60s, during the Silver Age, they decided, hey, let's put that checker border at the top of DC Comics. And they did this from February of 1966 all the way to August of 1967, across pretty much all the DC titles. And this was the decision of the DC editorial director, Irwin Dunenfeld. So it was his choice. It was something that they did. And the reason they did it, there was actually maybe a secret reason, but the main reason they did it was to make the DC books stand out. DC books had been sort of declining in sales, and this was their way of trying to make the books a little bit more obvious on the newsstands. So if you have a whole bunch of books on the newsstand, well, those checkers, that checkered pattern would actually stand out, and then you would see the DC book and you would grab it. So that was their thinking behind it. But there was also another more nefarious reason, potentially, why they put the checkers at the top. And there was an ad that they actually placed where they, on one of the books, where it said check and double check. And what they were trying to say was that if you didn't see that checkered at the top, then it might be actually a remainder copy. So what was happening was, back in the day, you'd send the comics to the newsstand, and people, if they didn't sell them, they would rip off the top third of the comic and send it back to the publisher for, to say, hey, look, we didn't sell this, we don't have to pay for it. And they would take the remainder copy, which was what was left of the comic, and they would discard it. That was what's supposed to happen. But some dealers would actually sell those remainder copies. So, which would mean that DC wouldn't get any money, but the newsstand would. So in order to prevent that, that was another potential reason for the the Go-Go checks. So I'm going to show you some of my Go-Go check collection. And if you want to participate, all you have to do is find 10 Go-Go check comics and show your favorites. So here's some of mine that I picked. I wanted to have a pretty good variety. So this is the Atom. And this is Atom number 30. Just cool back cover. And there's the Atom down there in the corner. So just a cool back cover. The Days of the Bat Knights. And then we got number 9 is Wonder Woman. And she's fighting Cheetah. And The Strange Power of the Magic Lasso. So this is a Ross Andro cover and Esposito. Just a kind of cool one. And another Wonder Woman, I really like this one. Number 8 is one where she's like being skewered by a big trident and fighting the monster. I think that's kind of cool. This is 171, which is actually the last checkered cover for Wonder Woman. So this was the very end of that checkered past. So, and then we got number 7 on the list. Isn't one more Wonder Woman? We have the Mummy, like the Curse of Cleopatra. I just like, I like these bondage covers. I think this is an interesting one because you got the Mummy wrapping up Wonder Woman. So I think that's really fun. This is Wonder Woman 161. It's a really cool Wonder Woman one. And then we have some Batman. Now, the first Batman I have is this one. And this is Batman 186. You can see the checkers at the top. And this is actually the first appearance of this character right here. And I forgot his name. His hilarious henchman. I think it's like haha or something like that. Something like that. It's like some silly thing. Yeah, so this is his first appearance. And then we have another Batman. I really like this cover, actually. I've always liked this one. This is Batman 190. And it's like, I think it's the third or fourth Silver Age appearance of the Penguin. It's just I always thought this was cool. I always liked the, you know, all the umbrellas, and, you know, I always thought that was cool about the Penguin, where he could, you know, had all these weird gadgets with his umbrellas, and he could spray poison gas or shoot bullets, or, you know, do a whole bunch of cool things with them. So I always liked this cover. And then another title that had the checkers is Aquaman. This is actually, I believe, one of the first appearances of Aquagirl. And yeah, there's a bunch of different Aquagirls, I'm pretty sure, actually. But this is the first appearance of one of them. So kind of a fun one. This is Aquaman number 33. Number 33. Nice bikini cover too. And another character that I really like is Mara, and this is actually the first appearance of the Huntress, the girl at the bottom there, another girl in a bikini. So, but I really like this cover. I like Mara. She's kind of I don't know, something about her. I like the red hair and stuff. She's really cool looking. And then we got some Lois Lane. So number 2 on my list is Lois Lane. I think this is just such a fun one. Lois Lane comics are actually super interesting because she's always trying to kill Superman. She's his girlfriend, and maybe it's like the sort of the weird love relationship that they have, but she's always like killing him and torturing him. Like, I have one where she's playing like a xylophone, and she's married to Lex Luthor, and the xylophone is enhanced with kryptonite, and as she plays it, it tortures Superman. And in this one, she's decapitating Superman. It's just like, you know, it's like so funny, like how, yeah, Lois Lane's always either trying to discover who Superman is, or trying to do something nasty to him, or is jealous or in some way of some other girl. And so I just think this is really, really fun cover. So that was Lois Lane number 67. And this is the Lois Lane 73, which I actually think is the last checkered one for Lois Lane. But you can see, like, this one's really funny too. She's like doing some S&M stuff with Superman. She's like beating this doll. And Superman is like in bondage, in kryptonite bonds and stuff. And it's just like the dummy and the damsel. Why is Lois Lane lashing this wooden puppet of Superman? It's just so crazy. Yeah, so just some really fun Lois Lane ones. Lois Lane is like one of these titles that is totally underrated. I just always liked it. So those are my 10 checkered it's actually Go-Go Checks covers. I'd like to see what other people can come up with. So all you have to do to participate in this challenge is find 10 Go-Go Check covers. If you're a DC collector, it should be pretty easy. And then use the hashtag, when you record your video, use the hashtag Go-Go Checks and hashtag Friday Comic Challenge. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little bit about Go-Go Checks. And thanks again for watching.